Happy Thursday, everyone. It looks like it's 12 o'clock, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I am Christy, Grow Nebraska's Business Development Director, and I'll be facilitating today's meeting. Welcome to this month's third Thursday training with Elizabeth Yearwood with SBA. I'll let Elizabeth introduce herself here in a second, but in the meantime, I just wanted to remind everyone that Marketech is coming up in less than 2 weeks, our annual training conference. Super exciting to have Amanda Bond there. She was our T3 speaker last month. Tickets are selling fast. This is the last week to take advantage of the early bird rates. Prices do go up $100 this weekend. So jump on to marketechconference.com and purchase your tickets today. Today's training is brought to you by REAP. I will provide their contact information and link to their resources in the follow-up email today. And our featured member is Gary's Quick Steak, and I'm going to give Tara control here to let you guys know about Glen Valley Foods. Tara?
Hey guys, I'm Tara Pieper with Glen Valley Foods, the National Retail Sales Director. We are based in Omaha, Nebraska, owned by Gary Rohr. He started Pepper Jack's Grill about 15 years ago and sold that. We have a food service, retail, and military division of our company. My focus is obviously retail. And the beauty of our product is it cooks from frozen in 4 minutes. And it comes with a seasoning packet. So it's versatile. You can use it for pretty much any meal you want, as versatile as ground beef. And we are very thankful to Grow for their support and their marketing. And they've actually helped us get launched in e-commerce. And so we're really excited about this partnership. And thank you so much.
Perfect, Tara. Thanks. I have to tell everyone, Tara, every time she talks to me is probably like, Christy, stop telling me how you use our product. She has to get sick of me telling her, because it's much more than just a Philly steak sandwich. It is. I get pretty adventurous with how I use it. So thanks again, Tara, for jumping on and letting us know about Gary's Quick Steaks. Now it is time for the woman of the hour, Miss Elizabeth. And I am going to go ahead and let you share your screen, Elizabeth.
Thanks so much for having me on.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us today.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm up and running, right?
Yes, you are. We can see your screen. Oh, really quick, I just want to let everyone know that this is very informal. If you have any questions, please shoot them to either everyone or privately message them to me, and I will make sure they get to Elizabeth. You can also ping me and I can unmute you and you can ask your questions directly to Elizabeth. So if you have any questions about anything she's telling you about today, please feel free to ask questions.
Absolutely. I actually prefer if people ask live during them, because that way you're not sort of focused on wondering what your question is for the entire rest of the presentation. And I love to get a break and answer questions, so do feel free. So welcome to everybody today, and my name is Elizabeth Yearwood. As Christy said, I'm from the U.S. Small Business Administration, and I'm basically the outreach, the face of the SBA, and we'll go into a little bit on what that means. And my main goal today is just kind of to cover what we do, our resource partners, and just really generally speak about services that are available for you to help start, grow, and expand your small businesses. I think there's a lot of services out there that people may or may not be aware of, so I just wanted to bring that to your attention today. So getting started, trying to get started. Okay, there we go. I'm a huge Twitter fan, as I think Grow probably can attest to. Twitter is awesome. It's a great way to get your business known. I'm very active on Twitter, so if you want to follow me, our handle is right there at SBA_Nebraska. I'm always posting links to blogs, websites, webinars, trainings, all kinds of great articles, blog posts. We do a lot of Twitter chats from the SBA, so you can participate in those. And then I'm always tweeting out info from other federal agencies too. So it's a really great way to kind of stay connected to that small business community. and I am not above shamelessly begging for followers. So if you're interested, by all means, follow me. So let's get into just real quick how the SBA helps people. We are your go-to federal resource if you want to start, grow, and expand your small business, as well as maintain your economic prosperity. We have 4 main missions. We're going to talk about the first 3 here today, about how we can connect you with free counseling, a little bit about our guaranteed business loans, and then we're going to talk a little bit about our disaster loans, since unfortunately that's something that's really front and center these days in Nebraska. So again, if you have any questions on any of this, just feel free to break in and let me know. Hopefully you have all heard about SCORE. They're a resource partner of ours, and they are a fantastic resource if you are in the very beginning stages of your business. They cover the entire life cycle of your business, of course, but they're really, really good at helping you sit down and see if your business idea is viable. If you have basic questions, you need business advice, you need to know where to go to register your business, how to get a sales tax number, all those sorts of things. You can sit down with these folks for an hour, as many times as you want, ask them all the questions that you have, and it's totally free of charge to you. They do a ton of workshops. The national SCORE folks do lots and lots of webinars every month. They usually have, 5 or 6 on all different topics, and they're all free as well. Great, great resource for you there. And then they can also help you put together your business plan. Again, totally free, great resource. They have chapters throughout the state of Nebraska, and then you can find them, your local one, by going to score.org. We also partner with the Nebraska Business Development Center. They are statewide as well, and these folks are attached to universities throughout Nebraska. They're a great resource for starting and growing your business as well. They're really good at helping you through your financials. We found that that's something that can really be difficult for new business owners, especially if you're trying to get a business plan together to go and seek financing. A lot of times, if you've never been in business before, you're not going to know how to do your numbers projections. You don't know how much you're going to sell. You know what your expenses are going to be typically, but you really don't know how to forecast all of your sales and how much you'll be bringing in. NBDC is really good at sitting down and helping you work that out. They also do business valuations. They do charge for that service, but most of the rest of what they offer for small business startup and expansion is free. And then they can also help you with your transition planning. Also located throughout Nebraska, you've got the website right there, and you can go on and find all of the different locations. We also partner with the Veteran Business Resource Center. These folks are for veterans or active duty military. They've been partner with us for years. We have a regional office that we work with. Ours operates, vetbiz.com is how you can contact them. They're a great resource for vets, for women vets especially, and they come out every other month here and do boots to business with us here in Omaha. And then they can get in contact with you mainly over the phone and email, since again, they are regional areas, but they're a really good source of information as well. So let's talk about funding really quickly. As a small startup business, it can be really difficult sometimes to obtain traditional financing from banks. And that might be because your credit rating maybe isn't the best. You don't have a ton of money to put down as a down payment. Maybe you don't own a home or any equipment assets yet. You might be really young, or whatever the case might be. It can be difficult for startups to get funding. So that's where we come in with our guaranteed loan programs. Now, we don't directly lend money for small business development. We guarantee the programs through the bank, which means if you have one of our loans and you were to default on your payments, the SBA steps in and pays the government back, or pays the bank back for a large percentage of the loan. So this is great for the banks because it makes them more likely to lend to small business owners that they ordinarily wouldn't want to be working with. So they're great programs. Our loans do go all the way up to $5 million, and you can use them for any legitimate business purpose. You can buy a franchise, get equipment, working capital. We have short-term loans, long-term loans, working lines of credit, pretty much for any of your business needs. And a lot of banks are very familiar with us. They're familiar with our programs. You can go into sba.gov to find those banks. And then we also work with a program called Linder Match. And I like Linder Match because it's a very lazy way of getting yourself in front of bankers. It's basically online. You go in and put just a little bit of information about yourself and your business, a little bit on your business plan. And then that gets shotgunned out to all of the participating lenders in the program. And if they're interested in funding your business, then they'll reach out to you. So it's a great way to make that connection without actually having to get in the car and go somewhere.
Elizabeth, really quick, I want to interrupt you. We had a question come in. Do banks also, if they go straight to the bank, if they reverse that and go straight to the bank first, do the bank know, do they contact you as well, or do they have to go through you to get that service?
So that's an excellent question. When you're interested in an SBA guaranteed loan, there's no need to come to our office first or contact the SBA first. There's no pre-approval process. When you go in to talk to the bank, you'll basically have three options. The bank will either seek out traditional financing for you, they will pursue an SBA guaranteed loan with you, or they'll kind of send you packing and you'll have to go down to the next bank that might want to work with you. So we don't get involved in that process until the bank has already decided to pursue an SBA loan with you. And we would work with the bank, so you would never, everything on the loan is going to be between you and the bank, so the lender or the borrower does not have to deal with the SBA, if that makes sense. Everything in your relationship is going to be the bank and you, and then the bank works with us kind of on the back side of the loan. Hopefully that answers that question.
Perfect, thank you.
Awesome. And that also reminds me, it is the banker's choice what program to work with you. We do get people that will call us and say, I've been turned down by the bank, they won't give me an SBA loan. Is there something that you can do to help me? Unfortunately, we can't. As much as we would like to see everybody get funding, we don't have control over whether or not the bank wants to pursue an SBA guaranteed loan with you. If you have been turned down by a bank for either a traditional bank loan or one of the SBA guaranteed loans, the next option for you is going to be a microloan, and we'll talk a little bit about that here in a minute. But those are smaller loans. Typically, they go up to $50,000. So that might be a good option for you if for whatever reason you're having trouble qualifying for a traditional or SBA guaranteed financing. And I already talked about Linder Match, so spoiler alert on there. But there is the website. Again, it's easy. It's just 3 steps. And the key to this is entering enough information to get the bank interested in your business. So you don't have to put in your entire business plan or anything like that, but you do need substantial information in order for the bank to really understand what your vision is and what you're proposing. And this is free, by the way, to use.
Is there any assistance on filling those forms out? Or is it something they have to do individually?
For the online, for the Linder Match?
Correct.
You can always call into our office and ask if you have specific questions on it. And we are 402-221-4691 is our main line. And any of our lender relations folks can help you with that. But from what I understand of the program, it's pretty intuitive what they're asking you to enter.
Okay, perfect. Can you say that number one more time? I'm going to type it up and add it into the comments for everyone.
Yes, of course. It's 402-221-4691. And if you have loan-specific questions, it's best to ask for one of our lender relation specialists, since they know the loan programs a little bit better than I do, much more in-depth. And then if you just have questions about resource partners or workshops or where do I go to register my business, that type of thing, that's when you can give me a call.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yep, you bet. Okay, so microloans, like I said, if you've been turned down by a bank or by the SBA for a guaranteed program, then this is a really good option for you. We work with 3 here in Nebraska, the Nebraska Enterprise Fund. They actually go up to $150,000 through their own financing. We work with the Rural Enterprise Assistance Project, so many acronyms, and they cover outside of Omaha, so pretty much the whole state, and then also community development resources, and they are based out of Lincoln. So with these loans, you might have a higher interest rate than you would with either a bank loan or an SBA guaranteed loan. You're still going to have a credit check, and you're still going to have collateral requirements, but it's not going to be nearly as stringent as what you would see with a traditional bank loan. And if anybody has questions on what collateral might look like or interest rates or that type of thing, feel free to ask and we can go into that a little bit. I just wanted to give you kind of the basics behind some of the financing options today. Okay, so this is something that has been on everybody's mind lately with all of the awful flooding and the blizzards and the crazy weather that we have in Nebraska. So keep in mind that the disaster recovery loans that we do, you have to be in a federally declared disaster area in order to qualify for these loans. As of right now, Nebraska has not been declared a federal disaster area yet. They are working on that, and we're hoping that's going to be done very, very quickly, because that will allow people to really take advantage of all of these loans that are out there in the programs and FEMA and all that good stuff. With these disaster assistance loans, they operate a little bit differently. For these, you are applying directly to the SBA, and the SBA is directly lending you the money. This is the only time when the SBA directly lends money, is just for these disaster loans. They're very low interest, typically 3 to 4%, depending on your current circumstances. And what's great about these are they are not just for your business. They can help, the loans can be for you to fix up your business if your business was destroyed, but it's also for your personal property, your personal house. So you can get it for your own purposes as well. It does not have to be small business related. And we can talk more about that if you have specific questions. And this program's been around for a very long time. We did a lot for all of the hurricanes that have popped up, some of the wildfires that were in California. So it's a really good program and a really good resource for you that hopefully not a lot of folks will need, but with the damage, it's pretty widespread. So I'm sure we'll be getting lots of calls on this soon. There are tons and tons and tons of business resources in Nebraska where you can go to get additional help. Grow, of course, is one. We love Grow. They are awesome. But there's all kinds of other ones as well. If you haven't been to the IRS website, I highly suggest that you go and visit it. Granted, it's not the most exciting information out there, but it is really critical information for your small business and for you as a taxpayer. But they do have a small business and self-employed tax center where you can go to get all kinds of good information. You'll see the website link right there. You can get info on legal structures for your business, on paying taxes, on different industries. This is where you go to get an employer ID identification number when you start your small business. Tons of great resources there for you. They also have a video portal. I've been to this. They're often very short. They're easy to understand. They're digestible. They're really good videos that you can just watch if you have specific questions. We always suggest if you're first starting your business to start with the virtual small business taxes virtual workshop. That can be a really good resource for you as well, but they have tons of videos on all kinds of different topics. And they also have videos for you as an individual taxpayer as well. So a very good resource there. The IRS Taxpayer Advocates are the nicest people that you hope you will never have to meet. They will help you if you are having issues with the IRS that you have already tried to resolve with them. Now, this could be you're having some kind of a tax issue and you've been trying to contact the IRS and they're taking forever to get back to you. Or you're not hearing from them, you're just unable to be working with them, basically is what these folks are for. You can call them at that number. You can also go online and apply for help as well. It is free for you to use. And again, they're awesome people, very knowledgeable, but you do have to have tried to resolve the issue yourself before you can use them. But every state has one. Ours is based out of Lincoln, I believe. So that's the contact info for those folks. And I truly hope you will never need to contact them. The Department of Labor is also a great resource if you're hiring employees, if you have questions about hiring employees. I don't know if any of you currently use the NEWorks website for posting jobs, but that's a fantastic resource for small business owners. You can also use it for market research for your business plan. If you create an account, which is free to do, you can go in there and see what other people are hiring for position-wise. You can see how much they're paying their people, because it's really important as a small business owner to stay competitive, You want to make sure you're paying your people, the average wage for that area or for that position. Otherwise, it will be difficult for you to hire folks. So definitely take advantage of that website. You can also post jobs for your company as well. Really good resource. And one of my favorite programs that they offer is the Worker Training Program. Now, this is a grant that comes around quarterly, and it's wonderful because they will pay for any training needs that you have. If you want to bring in a speaker to train your employees on, let's say, first aid or CPR, or you want to bring in someone to talk about Excel, or you want to send your folks to an offsite training, they'll pay for the tuition. Now, they won't pay travel costs or per diem or anything like that, but they will pay the speaker fee or the tuition for your employees. Great, great program. I like to think this is one of the better kept secrets out there, so I am trying to spread the word definitely about this. You apply on a quarterly basis. Again, there are a couple caveats. You do have to be established and you do have to be for profit. They won't pay for any nonprofit businesses to take advantage of this. And you do have to be currently paying into unemployment taxes. So if you fit into those two descriptions, just check on that website. You can apply online. It's really easy. And again, it's a really, really good resource for you. We're always asked about doing market research. There's so many websites on there. You can just spend hours and hours doing all of this. So these are kind of my favorites that we always go to. With the Nebraska Business Development Center, especially if you are looking to get into any kind of contracting, whether that's at a city level, a state level, or a federal government level, they have access to a ton of databases that would normally cost you a lot of money to be able to access. So they can put together some really good market research reports for you and help you with that, and it's absolutely free of charge to you. So great resource there. If you want statistics, the Nebraska Department of Economic Development has a research section where you can go in and get a lot of good information. DOL does as well. That SBA Size Up tool is kind of a neat feature. It allows you to go in and look at your industry and then compare how your business sizes up to other businesses in a similar industry, in a similar location. So that can be really helpful for you as well. Census is always a great source of statistics. Bureau of Labor is great. And then, like I mentioned before about the Any Work system, you can go on there and see what other people are hiring, basic wages, that kind of information is really helpful. And if any of you have an extensive library system or you have an Omaha Public Library card, libraries are an awesome resource for business owners as well. Omaha does have access to tons of databases like the Linda Training Database, Info USA, which again would cost you, big bucks on your own, but it's free for you to use as long as you have a library card. You can even log in from home. So I would bet that a lot of the libraries throughout the state of Nebraska have something similar. So definitely go and check them out because, of course, it would be free with your library card. So your taxes are already paying for those services, so definitely take advantage of them.
I want to jump in really quick, Elizabeth, and let everyone know you do not need to frantically write these resources down. I will include them in the follow-up email.
Awesome, thank you. Sorry, I was using that as an opportunity to take a drink.
No problem.
We already covered the disaster preparedness, the loans. These are some great resources where you can go for before the disaster hits. We always say that disasters don't plan ahead, but you can. The more you're prepared, the better. I think we're seeing that playing out all over Nebraska right now. So there are some really good resources available for you. There's some on our website, sba.gov. Ready.gov has a ton of resources, and that's a really user-friendly website. They also have some emergency preparedness social media information that you can use. They have some webinars, so definitely check them out. The IRS also has a great website for that. And right after this, from 1 to 3 p.m. Central Time, they are having a 2-hour webinar on taking advantage of the IRS disaster relief services if you are a small business owner or person in Nebraska, or I'm sorry, everywhere, but for federally declared areas as well. Christy sent out an email reminder about that, I believe, earlier this morning, right, Christy, through the email?
Correct, yes.
Yeah. So that's going to be a great webinar for you to be on. So I highly suggest you get on that if you have time. Again, it's totally free. And then FEMA, of course, has some really good resources as well. But it's really important to have a disaster plan for your small business to make sure that you're trained, you know what you're doing, that your employees know exactly what to do, because you just never know when disaster is going to hit. And you don't want to be that time when you start to get a plan and you start to think through what you're going to do. You want to have known that and have practiced that, and just something to be aware of for any small business owner or as an individual at your house as well. Everybody always perks up when they see this slide because it's free legal assistance. Everybody wants that. So the Weibling Entrepreneurship Clinic is through the University of Nebraska College of Law. They're a fantastic resource. The only thing to keep in mind about these folks is obviously they are extremely popular. So they accept clients on a semester basis, and you'll be working with their young attorneys that are going through the program, the law students. Now they're acting under the auspices of a practicing attorney, so everything you do with them is legally binding, and they can help you with forming an entity, they can help you with IP and trademarks, contracts, tons of different areas where they can help. But you do, again, have to be selected as a client, and they take X amount of people each semester. And they try to have a wide variety of things for each of their law students to be working on. So long waiting list. I've talked to folks that have been able to use their services, and they're fantastic. It just might be a little bit of a wait before you can get accepted. But there's the contact information there. If you're interested in learning more about intellectual property, patents, and trademarks, we do have a patent and trademark resource center in Lincoln. It's close to the Weibling as well. It's in their College of Law and the Schmidt Law Library. If you have specific questions, they can give you guidance and show you where to look. Now, these folks are not actual attorneys, so they can't give you legal advice, but they can point you in the right direction, help you navigate the website, that type of thing if you're looking to do anything with IP or trademarks. People usually wonder why I'm plugging the Postal Service. I love the Postal Service, especially their Every Door direct mail program. It's great for two reasons. First and foremost, of course, it's very inexpensive. It allows you to target different routes, so you can do some really good target marketing by neighborhood. But where it's also really helpful is for your business plan when you're doing your research. If you see all of those purple lines on that picture, that's the actual mail route. So you can go click on the individual mail routes in whatever zip code you want. And I know it's really small, but if you look across the top here, it gives you some really basic demographic info, as well as how much it would cost to send mail to everybody in that route. But with one of the most important things that you can learn is really the income. So if you are a landscaping business or something of that nature, you might want to target all of your direct mail towards neighborhoods where that income is going to be pretty high, since they'll have a lot of disposable income. Or if you're wanting to open up a daycare or something that caters to children, you can go by size. So if they have, 4 people on average per house, that might be a really good area for you, because you know that there's typically lots of kids in places like that. It also breaks it down by age and then the number of residences. Now, you can do residential only, or you could do residential and business. Unfortunately, right now, they do not have a business only option. But I still think this is a great basic research tool, as well as very inexpensive marketing. So if you're interested in that, let us know. Go to this website. I can also put you in contact with individuals at the post office too. So just email Christy, and Christy can let me know, or email me. You'll have that contact info here at the end. We talked a little bit about NEDED before with their market research that they can help you with. Here's all of the contact information. They can help you with starting up, expanding. They can help you with exporting. If your business is really into R&D, research and development, or very high tech, then they also have access to the SBIR grant and STEP funds for exporting, which again, it's all kind of crazy acronyms, but basically if you want to get into exporting or you have a very high tech product, then there can be some options available for you in terms of grant money and things like that. DreamBuilder.org is a great online resource if you're truly in the very beginning stages of starting a small business or even just thinking about starting a small business. It's free, it's online, they're all self-paced modules, and it's designed to take you literally from just having an idea to turning it into reality and opening your doors. It's free, you just create an account. It is geared towards women, but men are obviously welcome to sign up and take a, have an account as well. This one we won't spend very much time on, other than to say the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission is very important, especially if you have employees. You can really get yourself into some big trouble if you break equal employment labor laws or do any kind of discrimination, anything like that. So they do have a small business resource center. Definitely check that out. They've got some great facts and all kinds of information on disability, discrimination, that type of thing. Those are mistakes that you really don't want to be making because they can have some pretty harsh consequences. So definitely check those guys out. Same thing with the Federal Trade Commission, especially if you are selling online. They have a business advice center as well, and they have tons of information about consumer laws, advertising, marketing. Honestly, you could go, hours on their website. So I just want you to be aware of it, that it is a good resource out there, especially if you sell online. Because again, marketing and being online, you don't want to make mistakes there either because you can get into some trouble. E-commerce, obviously huge. Grow Nebraska is a great resource for all of your e-commerce questions and getting started on platforms like that. These are just some other websites that I've looked through that seem pretty good for e-commerce. The basic guide is a nice document to kind of get you started. So again, those are just some resources that I want you all to be aware of. And that is it from me. So who's got questions? Anybody?
Oh, I was muted. I'm sorry. I haven't seen any more come in, but we can wait here just a second to see if any pop up. You can raise your hand to talk. You can shoot a chat message over if anyone has any questions. These were great resources. I'll go ahead and keep moving on, but if you have any questions about anything Elizabeth just talked about, let us know. I'm going to go ahead and take back over Elizabeth. Let's see here. And I'm going to share my screen. Maybe.
Oh, did I break it?
I think I did, but I've got it figured out here. Okay. So again, Elizabeth's contact information is on the screen, as well as mine. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to either of us. Again, I just have a couple of housekeeping items here, but if you have any questions that come up as I'm going through these, don't be afraid to reach out. Elizabeth will stay with us for a couple more minutes, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
just a couple trainings for you to save the date. This is a super exciting one. We just announced this late last week. We received a Facebook grant, or it's from Digital Promise, a grant to train 100 participants for free. This will eventually be a paid training, a training with a fee, but Facebook is allowing us to train the first 100 people for free. With this training, you will get credentials directly from Facebook that you can use, and you will also receive a $25 ad credit to start your first Facebook advertising campaign, or to start anew if you've already done it. So we're taking registrations. The first in-person training is a pre-conference training to Marketech. It's on April 2nd in Kearney at the Eunice Conference Center. Registration is live on our website. You can go to grownebraska.org, and it's under the trainings tab. Get signed up for that. We will also be offering this training in a Zoom platform, just like we're in now, later in the month. So we'll be making that announcement soon. Next, Marketech. I know we talked about this before we started today, but wanted to point this out again. Early bird pricing does end this Saturday. That's March 23rd. On Sunday, the price jumps $100. So take advantage. We're almost full. We do have 3 booth spots available left in the exhibit hall. So if you are considering exhibiting, get those in. We are almost full. Our next T3 training in April on the 18th will be email marketing trends for 2019. Registration is open, so you can jump on our website and get registered for that. Even if you can't make it, get registered. When the training is over, we will send the recording to you. I think that's all I have for today. I didn't see any other questions come in. Elizabeth, do you have any other comments to add before we close out today?
Only I really appreciate you having me on today.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us and for saving us and jumping in with not much notice. It was greatly appreciated. Oh, I do see one question just came in. Let me check here. This was Cher, one of our members, is thanking you, Elizabeth, for all the information as well.
Awesome. Thanks, Cher.
So appreciate it. I will be sending everyone this recording as well as the resources that Elizabeth shared with us today. Thank you all for joining. Have a great Thursday and rest of the week. Don't forget to sign up for Marketech. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Christy. Bye.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody.